Alright, so I built a pusher version of the Air75, and I will link the Air75 review in the video description. I'm not going to rehash that whole video. You can go and click that link and watch it. I just converted or made a pusher version of this one. I actually didn't convert this one, obviously, because this still exists here. I just took the same parts. I got the this is the not the 5-in-1, the 4-in-1 with a separate receiver. This one is the flight control that goes in the Air65 and Air75, separate express LF receiver, and then I rearranged the parts so that the receiver will be on this side here instead of the other side. And obviously I'm not using the canopy. I just glued the camera to the frame, as you can see right there. And I'm using these 0703 motors now instead of the 0802 motors. So slightly narrower stator, so 7 millimeters, but taller, 3 millimeters now instead of 2 millimeters. So that's the big difference between these two. No canopy, and we have the 0703 motors from RCinPower, and I'll see if I can give you guys a good look at this. Typical RCinPower quality, very good. This is a ball bearing motor, so it is better than the standard motor on the Air75. Pretty smooth. There's a look at the top. It does come with the PCB there and the motor wires like this, and you get a plug. I obviously cut these off to direct solder to the flight controller on this one here. Still using the same battery connector, and still using the metal screws here and metal screws here. So obviously I could make it lighter. Let's go ahead and I'll show you the weight here, and we'll get right into the flight footage. The flight footage will speak for itself. So just as a reminder here, let's go ahead and that's 0. The Air75 came in at 21.25 grams, and here's my pusher version of the Air75, now at 20.3 grams, so about 1 gram less weight. And with this, I guess, upgraded motor, the flight characteristics are pretty different in my opinion. Obviously, if you're not a seasoned pilot or haven't flown a while, probably not going to really know what the differences are. It'll probably feel about the same. There's a subtle difference. So because it's got a 1 millimeter taller stator compared to the 0802, and it is a little bit narrower, the power band is kind of in a different spot. It's moved up in the throttle range, so you have a little bit less throttle resolution at the bottom end of the throttle, but you have a lot more, power available to you at the top end of the throttle. So that's kind of the difference. Now, obviously, these differences I'm talking about here are not like huge. Obviously, 1 millimeter isn't a monster difference. So it's very subtle, and it does kind of change the way you fly or how you fly this thing, because it is got a top end speed that is much faster, in my opinion, than the 0802 motor version. If you're in a drag race, the 0703 motor will beat the 0802 motor if you have all things equal, same pilot skills, etc. But you have to fly a little bit differently, knowing that you've got a lot more power at the above the 50% throttle range. But everything else is pretty much the same. Same frame, same camera, same video transmitter, same flight controller. So all those things are equal between these two. It's just that now we're in a pusher configuration, and because I'm side loading the battery now, so the battery's going in like this. The CG characteristics are pretty different compared to the one with the canopy. In addition to the lower weight, you have different CG properties. So the battery in this one goes front to back, so you have pretty good authority on the roll axis like this. But when you put it in this configuration with the toilet tank battery, you get a lot more authority in the pitch axis. So this is good when you want to make subtle adjustments to the change of your speed. So obviously more angle, more speed, more angle, more speed, etc. And you have more control over your speed if you're going in straight lines, but less control in the roll axis because of the orientation of the battery. But because the battery is very close to the prop line here, so you can see, and then all the CG stuff is kind of squished here. So whereas in the standard one, you have the camera kind of sitting up top like this. So this a little bit of CG characteristics, which is a little bit different on this one compared to the pusher. And if you're wondering how to build it, I've made numerous videos on how to set up this configuration. You got to do a bunch of stuff in Betaflight and obviously change your flight controller orientation and adjust your with the way the motors are rearranged, etc. So I did videos on that already. If you were curious, let me know, and I will happy to give you some links to my older videos. But basically, in my opinion, this is a better setup if you're looking to do like race and tracks that have a lot of longer segments where that burst speed is going to really make a difference in terms of getting away from your competition. I don't think this is necessarily better for freestyle. It's just that it's a different kind of feel. I think that a lot of people that did switch over to this pusher toilet tank configuration didn't like the way it feels because it's pretty different in terms of flight characteristic feel compared to the standard one with the canopy. Personally, in my biased opinion, the pusher configuration is superior, and it just takes some time to get used to because the CG characteristics are different. You just have to adjust to the way that is and adjust your flying to the way the quad is configured. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I did show you the weight and everything here. Basically, if you're looking for more power at the top end, faster top end speed, the 0703 motor is the way to go. You will sacrifice a little bit of flight time. It's not as efficient as the 0802 motor. So basically it's more like a drag racer. You're going to get more performance, but at a cost of flight time and efficiency. I think the standard configuration, I think it was giving me like 4 minutes of flight time, and maybe not quite, between 3.5 and 4 minutes, probably somewhere in there. And then with this pusher configuration here with the updated motor, the 0703, is more like 3 to 3.5 minutes. So probably overall on average, you're losing about 30 seconds of flight time with this motor, but you're gaining more performance, I think, especially if you're on longer tracks and, we have a lot of big stretches. Now, if you're on a really short track with a lot of turns, I don't think that the 0703 motor gives you much of an advantage, but it really kind of depends on the pilot. So I'm gonna show you all the flight footage I got here. You guys can make your own judgments as to what looks better to you. Go back and watch the Air75 review, and you can compare the flight footage and make your own determination. I'll do it for this video. Talk to you guys in the next one.